don't hear the background noise, the mute is located in the bottom left-hand side of your screen, and we will let people in as they come in. First, someone reminded me that I didn't introduce myself, but I think y'all know me if you don't. I'm Mr. Barber, the principal, and I think if you can see on your screen next to me is Mr. Lawson. Mr. Lawson, give a big wave. And then I'd like to just give a quick hello. Our new vice principal, Ms. DeBello. If you could just give a quick wave and show your face so everyone can see who you are. There she is. And so we will get started in the interest of everyone's time. And there is a board meeting tonight that we would like to get to also. We're going to begin. So first, to just give you an overview of tonight's session. First, you will have Mr. Lawson. He will talk about the schedules. And if you were in our previous meeting, it is a little more complicated in depth for middle school, as middle school is different than elementary school. Followed by Karen Earl, our instructional coach, will show you how to get onto the platforms this year. And then Robin will also, our librarian, talk to you about the webpage that we recreated based on some feedback from parents. And so that will look different. And I think it'll look better and it'll be easier for you to navigate this fall. Also, the letters have been sent home. The letters have passwords for your student to get onto Canvas. It is buried within the letter, so you really do have to look for it so that you can see it, but it has been mailed home. And also an easier to read version of your child's schedule. Mr. Lawson put together in a grid. And so he'll talk a little bit about that. It will look different in School Tool at the parent portal, but we just want to just share that with you up front that we did send it home also. So without any further waiting, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Lawson. As you notice, this conversation is being recorded so that we can post it later so that you can review these things again. We'll stop recording at the Q&A just so that you know. Mr. Lawson, go ahead and take over.
Okay, Mr. Barber, give me a thumbs up if you can see my slides here. We got those good. All right, so I wanted to give you a little big picture overview here and some of the hurdles that we've had with the scheduling, because for the schedule and what I'm about to show you to make sense, I got to give you some background here. So typically when we get to middle school, we hand schedule each student's schedule. We go student by student, what are their needs, what are their wants, what are their interests, and we try to create a schedule that suits their time with us for the next 3 years. We tried to do that this year. I tried to do that to the best of my ability, but there are limiting factors in terms of time and space and availability and opportunity. And we had this goal of making sure that we had some equity, we had an opportunity, but most importantly, we had supports built in for students in each grade. And I'm pretty happy that we were able to do that. In fact, almost every student in middle school will have an intervention or tutorial block. Every single student, even our algebra and living environment students, because we need to make sure that through this medium that they're successful. The change of start time was a huge hurdle for us because we have to sneak special periods in our schedule, and having our middle school start earlier gave us some flexibility, and we had to adjust our schedule quite a bit for that. When you get your student's schedule, there are going to be classes listed as none for the period time. This is totally a limitation of the School Tool system. Our schedule has to work if it's fully virtual, if it's hybrid, or if by some miracle we are all able to come back to school again. Because of that, I needed some flexibility in the afternoon. My children are yelling at me, I'm sorry. I needed some flexibility there, and so we had to create what are called none periods in the system. If we were to come back to school, that none period is blocked out to be a fifth, a sixth, or a seventh period. And I'll show you how that fits into the hour time slots in a second. We were not able to survey our students for chorus and band at the end of last year. We have to do that this year. So our music department is going to survey students and kind of reschedule students based on their interests over the next 2 weeks. So there might be, you might have students that are normally in band that are not listed in band on their current schedule. And that's okay, we will get them there. We just need you to understand, we gotta go through that process and make sure things line up. But Miss Juman and our new music department is ready to get at that. We have a special schedule for living environment and algebra at the end of this, specifically because Mr. Barber really forced me to be creative with making sure that our students who are virtual students still have the opportunity for living environment and algebra. And that is 100% what we did. It was hard, and because of that, we had to be creative. So those students have a little bit different schedule, and I'll show you how that works. And what we're going to walk through now are the schedules for the students for September to October for this virtual learning component. It also is the schedule if your students are fully virtual, how they're going to, what they're going to do. And here's the nice part for those of you who are on the previous call. Ready? We built in virtual learning opportunities into our teacher's schedule so that you can, your students have the same teachers they would if they're in school normally. So first period, they may have a virtual math class, and it's the same teacher that's teaching math, 6th grade math throughout the day. So I think that's going to be really awesome for our middle school students. And if we are to come back, it'll make things a little easier for them. So they're actually going to follow their schedule over the virtual learning time period here. So here is our slide here for the 6th grade schedule. And what we're trying to do here is just communicate with you some things that are different for us. One, we're starting with a homeroom. Every student's in a homeroom, and it'll be an opportunity for us to just do some initial check-ins with students if when we do return to the hybrid system or full in class or in school. It gives us time to get students in through the check-in procedures, make sure we have food, and it just gives us some flex time to make sure that we're in. Then our periods will go down 6 for the grade, 1 for the first period. And then I just listed the class options that students have. This is almost exactly the same as our normal schedule here for 6th grade. Teachers will be reaching out to students on Teams and on Canvas. And we'll get into that, I think, a little bit later. It will dive deeper into the Padlet and the resources and how to access those things with Ms. Earl and Ms. Young. So the schedule goes down. Where it gets a little interesting is the dotted box, right? When you get your student's schedule, PE, art, tech, enrichment, and advisory for 6th grade students will not have a period listed. It's, again, a school tool limitation. I can't overcome it. But on paper, really, these are the times that those students will be in those classes. All right. And as with all things for these virtual periods, there's a lot of flexibility here. The teachers are very understanding. If the times don't align up, the teachers will be flexible in working with you and your students to make sure that they have access. They'll also be recording and posting lessons so that they can be viewed and the work can be done at a later time. But these are the time periods we're moving ahead for those periods in 6th grade. For 7th grade, again, very similar. Every student has homeroom. Every student has an advisory period. You see, and we go down the same options. We try to cycle through, very similar to what we would normally do during the year. We tried. I could have been really creative and I decided not to for this, just the sake of our schedule is really special. What we're able to do for our middle school students with the staffing that we have is remarkable. We really do a great job at offering a lot of really neat things for students to do and opportunities for them to explore a lot of different classes and enrichment and definition. And I tried to do that to the best of my ability, but again, limiting factors. And we wanted to make sure all our students had opportunities if they were in the building or virtual. So this is 7th grade. Again, the neat thing for us is the homeroom. Every student's in advisory every day. That might be a phone call with their advisory lead. That might be a meeting with their advisory group, but they expect at the end of the day some content there. Our 8th grade schedule jumps in. We were able to keep robotics, which was awesome. It actually, it's like the critical cog in the wheel here. If we take robotics out, the whole schedule falls apart. So excited that we offered that opportunity. In 6th grade, we traditionally offer enrichment, and that is also in our schedule. Algebra, typically we offer 1 period of algebra. We're offering 3 this year to expand the students. Same thing with living environment. We usually offer 1, we're offering 2. So we were able to expand those opportunities, which is great. And students who are remote students or virtual students the whole year still get those opportunities. Again, 3rd period it might be a shocker for some students and for some families to get an intervention block. But again, that's our deliberate effort to make sure students don't fall through the cracks, or if they're having trouble, we want to really make sure that they have an opportunity to get some academic support. Because learning this way is different. Learning, I don't know, but just the thought of algebra as a remote class really intimidates me, and I'm a grown-up and I taught math, but that seems hard. So I wanted to make sure we were able to provide that opportunity, and we did. So our Pod D student, which are virtual students, this is their schedule, and this is our living environment algebra schedule, and you can see this 3rd period intervention block, and then we get into living environment and algebra. The other big difference for those students is their advisory period will be in the morning, and they'll get to do that contact. I believe Mr. Savage is going to be our lead for that class, and that'll be in the morning. So it'll be a little different. If we go back hybrid or the students' pod changes, we have flexibility, but it was really hard to program for it. So we did our best here to give those opportunities, but to make sure we didn't close students out of classes that deserved to really be in those classes and have those chances. The question about students with IEPs that are virtual learners, I'll touch on that really quickly. The 6th, 7th, and 8th grade CT teachers have a period broken in their day where they will make individual contact with those students, in addition to the homeroom and advisory period, and provide some direct support for those students. Then, if they're able to, depending on their schedule, support the students directly in their online classes, they're going to give that effort, but we can't guarantee that. But we can, and we did deliberately break a period up of their day so that they can reach out and provide those students some direct supports. And the important slide here is questions. If you have questions, reach out to Mr. O'Leary, Mr. Bello, and myself, and we'll get you some questions. And when you get schedules in the mail and there's sloppy handwriting, it's totally my handwriting. I'm sorry. I tried to write period 1, 2, 3, 4 on the schedules to provide some clarity for those that I was able to catch. And that concludes my section, Mr. Barber.
Thank you very much. And now we will turn over to Karen Earl.
All right, hi, I'm Karen Earl. I'm the instructional coach. I'm going to show everyone, regardless of what grade level your student is in or what their schedule looks like, it will be the same way they will start their day every day. And if you were here earlier, you'll know that this is very similar to elementary. We wanted to streamline everything so that students and families would know exactly where to start their day. So I'm going to share my screen. And you can see that I am on our school webpage. And all students will log on to Clever and they will start their day on Canvas, which is the middle school platform. Seesaw is for grades K through 5, and Canvas is made for 6 through 8. So when I go to our school website, I go to the About button and then down to Libraries. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on Clever. Some families last year had questions about why Clever and not Seesaw, or why Clever and not Canvas. Clever is our single sign-on, which means your student can sign into Clever and they have access to all of the digital platforms in one place. So for example, there's more than just Canvas, but your child in grade 6 through 8 will log on to Clever and start their day every day by clicking on Canvas. And within Canvas, now this is a teacher view, but it's kind of similar to what your children will see. They would have up here, so let's say that I have Mr. Wright for English and Miss Ventresca for social studies. The courses that they have will be listed here. And if I go into one, students will see each day, teachers will release what tasks students have. So if I have to do, let's just say the top 2 activities, that's the only thing that a student would see. And it will tell them that. Now, if a child is going to be meeting with a teacher, if a student is that the teacher wants to have a meeting on Teams to go over some content to get them started, then again, they would still come into Canvas and there would be a link to that meeting right here. So the idea is that we want every student to start in the same place every day. So if their schedule starts at 9:10, then every student would log on and go into Canvas, and that would be where they would see what they were going to do for the day. Okay.
Thank you, Karen. And next we have Robin. She's going to give us a tour of the webpage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Young. I'm the library media specialist and tech guru or something. Let's see. And thank you. All right. So we have, we're trying to make, like we've been saying, we're trying to make it easier for everybody to find all the information that they need. And since we're doing that, we put everything in 2 different places. So like Karen Earl said, you're going to be going on to Clever and then Canvas first thing in the morning. If you can't remember how to get onto Canvas, if you click right here, you'll be taken to a video about how to get on to Canvas. If you're not sure how to use Teams, because we're using Teams now instead of Zoom, you can click here for information about Teams. Right, let me just show you the rest of this page and then I'll show you the Padlet, which has things broken down by grade level. So here's all information about different things we're using. Seesaw, again, is for K-5, Canvas for 6-8, Teams, everybody is using. This is from the district that has a ton of information about everything about blended and virtual learning. If you need tech help, you can click here or here to contact me or Karen Earl by email. I am available every school day to help with all kinds of tech issues. So email me if we need to, we'll talk on the phone, whatever we need to do. I will get you help. So if you click here, it will open something called a Padlet. And this is our Ed Smith Padlet. It's broken down by grade level. So here we have parent resources, and these are the same links that you saw on the website. Here's information from Mr. Barber, and then by grade level. So when you scroll down to here, we've got 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. Right now, all we have on it is the link to the parent portal where you can view your student schedule. We will also have links to team meetings here and assignments. Once I get them, we also have for special areas and library and everybody. So this is a growing document. So keep checking back here for any information, either here or on our website. And again, if you need any kind of tech help, click here and email me or call the school, but I prefer doing it through email, it's easier. Anything else I need, Mr. Barber?
No, but I just wanted, if you could take them to the 678 section with the
Sure.
parent portal.
Yep, let me go back there. Okay. Now what? So this is School Tool. You're gonna, which is also called the Parent Portal. You're going to log in with your students' login and password. Your students, middle schoolers mostly know their logins and passwords. If they don't, I think you're getting a letter with them. If you still are having problems, email me and I will get you the password and the login. So I don't have access to a student, so I can't log in and show you. Yes. Ms.
Robin, can
Emily.
I just
Yes,
interject?
please.
Your students can log in with their username and password onto School Tool, and they probably already have or already know how to do it. But if not, like Robin said, you'll be getting something in the mail with your username and password. If you want to log on as a parent, you can create a parent account on School Tool through the parent portal. And I'm going to put my email in the chat, and you can email me, and I'm happy to walk you through how to do that. You basically just need to create an account, and then you can see your child's schedule.
I just didn't know if you were taking them there. Okay, got it.
Do you want me to stop sharing, Emily, and you can share your screen?
No, I think if people have
Okay.
a question, they can just email me
Okay,
about the parent portal.
sounds good. Okay,
All right.
thank you, Mr.
We
Barber.
do have a little bit, no problem. Thank you. We do have a little bit of time for questions, and questions can go in the chat also. And then we'll try to get back to you with those questions also. But we do have a minute or so for some questions. Greg, you want to talk to about Spanish, 7th grade?
That's 7th grade. Oh, the 7th grade? It's that 7th grade.
Yeah. Did it again. Spanish 7th grade, we're not able to offer because of the limited opportunity, limited time